Welcome back to Ta-da! 3D printing. We are on the final chapter, chapter 8 of the MK4 Mark IV build assembly of the kit. So we're going to do the pre-flight check. We need to have a steel sheet ready. And I'm going to use the wipe that's enclosed with the kit to clean the bed. I've gotten so used to using paper towels that this wipe seems kind of strange. And I plug in the USB. I know that the directions suggest updating the firmware, but I'm just anxious to see if this is going to run, and then I can do the firmware later. I get it plugged in and turned on. I go through the first few steps, click continue a couple of times, let it go through its first couple of checks. Those pass, and now it's time to do the load cell test. And this is the same as the fully assembled as well so far. Then the next test is for all the axes, so it does Z first, and that passes. But the x-axis is moving a little funny. This is in real time, it's not sped up or anything. This is it trying to go through the calibration. Then it resets itself and gives me a red screen, orange screen that says that there's an error. It says that the y-axis failed to home, and it gives me a QR code to look up. It pulls up the website and tells me first to make sure that there's nothing obstructing the movement, and I check there's not. Then it says x-axis belt tension, so I'm going to test that again. I adjust this a little bit tighter, looser until I get it where I think it needs to be, and then I run through the test again. It's again moving kind of funny and ends up erroring again, so it's still having the same issue. At this point, I am right at 15 hours on this build. I zipped through quite a bit when I edited. I had split it between 2 days on the weekend, and I really didn't expect it to take that long. I also had an additional few hours of setting up to film. I was just frustrated and needed a break to think about what to do next. I cleaned up the mess and started working on editing the first few videos because I thought, well, maybe as I go through and rewatch everything, I'll see what I did wrong. Editing took way longer than I was expecting. Each video or each chapter that ends up being half an hour or less took me over 6 hours to voice over and edit to speed up to that. So I spent the next few days just working on that, trying to see what I could do differently. I moved the printer out to my print room. I ran through the self-calibration again and had the same error. I also ordered and received a microphone so that I could record in real time, have a little bit better sound quality, and hopefully not have so much time that I would have to voice over and edit later. So now I'm going to get into the troubleshooting, and I'm going to switch over to that other microphone. If you don't want to watch the troubleshooting, you just want to see the pre-flight check, you can skip ahead to 15 minutes. I did have a subscriber mention that they thought I had installed the pulley upside down. And at first I looked at it and I thought, no, that's the correct way. But then I did look again on my other Mark IVs, and it is for sure upside down. I'm not completely sure how I managed to do that. I think I just already felt like I had done one motor by that point, and the X, I just put it upside down. So I am going to look at that, see if I can flip that relatively easy without having to remove everything, and see if that helps. So let's turn this off so we can work on it. Okay, so I'm going to remove these screws or loosen them until I can pull this motor out and see if I'm able to make that work. Anything. I am going to have to see how I can get this. Yeah, that's definitely backwards. See how I can get this removed with the belt in place. Don't know if I have enough slack that it'll let, oh yeah, it's definitely just come out completely. So yes, I had that one upside down. Let's see if I can get the grub screw and flip it around. Okay, so I know I can get this off fairly easy, but it's going to be a little tricky to get the spacing correct because I use this. Okay, let's just remove it and see how it goes. Okay, completely loose enough. And one of them needs to be straight on this flat side. Hopefully I'll get this a little bit better, but it's going to be tricky. Let's see if I can pull this belt out just so I can see the spacing on this. I feel like the spacing's pretty good. Just double check it. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Turn it to the side and tighten the other one. Now let's see if I can get this belt to loop back on again. I was surprised how easy it came off, but I'm sure I'm going to have to mess with the tension, but it'd be nice if I can get it on there. Wow, that does seem like it's going to work. Okay, let me just double check on my other printer. I can't remember now if the cable needs to go. I feel like it goes to the side, but let me just double check. Look on one of them other Mark IVs. No, it looks like it goes through the bottom. I'm very glad that I looked at that. So the cable needs to be going this way. I was about ready to put it like that. Okay, I'm gonna get this. Honestly surprised that all of those are catching fairly good. Doesn't seem like one of them's out of place or something. Okay, let me. Now, I can tell that this is really, really not gonna work. I guess I'll tighten this now, and then I'm gonna have to pop the cover off of the X carriage and adjust the belt there, because I don't think that I can adjust that much. That's just a little too much. I'm going to unplug it. Probably should have unplugged it before I started working on it at all anyways, but unplug it and flip this around. Remove this plate, if that's enough. I hope so. Am I gonna need to remove? Almost looks like this is wiggling a little bit. Wondering if I'm gonna need to remove that top. Somebody else had said that I didn't do that correctly either, so let's see if we can break this down even a little bit more. Okay, so I don't know how I can see that. I'm gonna remove the zip ties so I can pop that top part off. Oh, and sure enough, I didn't. I just kind of wrapped them, and there is a little channel underneath there that I should have caught. So this needed to be redone anyways. Okay. Now, pop it off. Like this. Just get it kind of caught up on it. Maybe it was still getting caught on a screw. It's hard to say. But it's caught on something. So I'm hoping I don't mess this up too much here. That belt has a lot of slack. I am seeing just a little bit of the mark left on my bearing, which is good. I just want to make sure if this thing tips it down while I get my cables that I can still make sure everything's good. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I felt like I had no slack on this belt and it's because I did it way wrong. So let's make this side tighter. Okay, that feels a lot better. Let me see if I can get the bearing in. That feels like enough. I feel like it's still too loose. Okay, I feel like all of that looks a million times better. Like go real quick, but that doesn't slide so much. Okay, I need to put the little rubber pad back in here. Retighten this, make sure I can see the line, my bearing's still good. Retighten all this stuff back in. Backwards to be putting it this one on from this side. There we go. That slid in. Now I need to set this on again with the, I believe it's the the longest side goes away from me. Okay, let me get some more zip ties. Okay, now let's see if I can get this threaded correctly. On this side, I see a little notch, but I'm not seeing anywhere that it's gonna go. There we go. Get this one wrapped and snugged up correctly, hopefully this time. It'll okay. That looks better. Hopefully I got that all right this time. Okay. Now I feel like I'm probably gonna need to do a tension test again on this thing, the other side. Okay, I'm gonna move this over, and I've got the app. It wants to. Okay, yeah, that's the right one. Okay, we're too loose. I'm getting there, but not very easily. Half turn or so. $85, just right. That sounds great. Let's tighten this back up. Okay, this next section I did a split screen so you can see exactly what the screen is saying a little easier. I do jump through the first couple of continues just because I'm anxious to get this calibration going and see if it turned out. But other than that, this is in real time. Continue. Continue. Okay, do the load cell again. Okay, passed. That doesn't sound good. Oh, okay. Wow, it passed. X-axis is good. It's moving fast. Looks like it's heating up everything. Guess you can't really see it all the way at the very bottom of temperature. But that's what's going through right now. Okay, the gearbox calibration is only necessary for user-assembled or service gearboxes. In all other cases, you can skip this step. Well, obviously I need to do that, so we'll push continue. Before you proceed, make sure filament is unloaded from the extruder. Yes. Rotate each screw counterclockwise by 1.5 turns. The screw head should be flush with the cover. Unlock and open the idler. Okay. Not that one, this. Unlock and open the idler. Yes. Okay, we've got the gearbox alignment in progress. Please wait approximately 20 seconds. Tighten the M3 screws firmly in the correct order. They should be slightly below the surface. Do not over tighten. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So 1 on the upper left. Then we're going to go lower right. Then we'll do the last one. Continue. Close the idler door and secure it with the swivel. Calibration is done. Continue. We need to start without, okay, so we're going to do filament sensor calibration. We need to start without the filament in the extruder. Please make sure there is no filament in the filament sensor. Yes, that's correct. Continue. No, there is no filament in the sensor. Let me get my filament over here. Okay, so just a little bit above. I have not loaded it, but it is right there ready. Insert the filament in the extruder until the sensor detects the filament. Continue. Remove. Okay, filament sensor is calibrated. Looks like we got a bunch of green checks. Self-test okay. Wow. Hooray, it worked! Ta-da! Happy printing. I am going to skip the Wi-Fi for now. Okay, so let's load some filament and make sure that this works out. Waiting for temperature. Okay, I think this is good. Let's switch to time lapse and we can get something rolling. I just print the Prusa keychain because I'm super anxious to see how this is going to turn out. Okay, it's still just a hair warm when I pop it off of the sheet, but it turned out great. This, of course, is the Prusa Galaxy Black, and it looks really good underneath. I'm very impressed. I'm kind of shocked that I finally got this working. Thank you to everyone who has watched all the way through all of these videos. And a special thank you to Bryce Jeanette 7699 that called out the pulley being upside down, because that definitely was the issue. Send me an email at tada3dprinting@gmail.com. I want to send you a gift for helping me out. And if you guys did enjoy the assembly video, please let me know in the comments below so I can continue making them. I'm going to go take a gummy bear break. Thanks for watching.